The theories of Erik Erikson. Erik Erikson was born in Frankfurt, Germany on June 15, 1902. His birth came under unusual circumstance. His mother, Carla Abrahamson, was a young Jewish girl. Her husband, Valdemar Salmonson, was a stockbroker who had been involved in criminal activity and had fled the country to escape imprisonment. While he was gone, Carla had an affair and became pregnant with Erikson. She never revealed who Erik's father was, though she said he was Scandinavian. 4 months after Erik was born, Carla's husband died. Erikson's mother studied to become a nurse, and when Erik was 3 years old, she remarried Theodor Homburger, a pediatrician. Homburger adopted Erik in 1911 and then had 3 daughters with Carla. As a tall white boy, Erik struggled to fit in his Jewish community. At school, he was teased for being a Jew. As the stepson, he also struggled to fit in with his family. His personal life may have led him to his research on identity. He is famous for having coined the term identity crisis. Erikson studied art and several languages, and rather than go to traditional college, he traveled around Europe. In Vienna, he began to paint children's portraits, where he met Anna and Sigmund Freud. Anna began teaching him, and he received a certificate from the Vienna Psychoanalytic Society. Erikson's 8 stages of development are said to be influenced by the Freud's theories. He also graduated from the University of Vienna with a teaching degree. In 1930, Erikson married a dance teacher, Joan Searson, and had 2 children. With the rise of the Nazis, the family moved to the U.S. After more time studying at Harvard and Yale, he started a practice where he became the first child psychoanalyst in Boston.
Erik Erikson divided lifespan into 8 stages, each of which involves a psychosocial crisis. One's personality is shaped by how individuals deal with the psychosocial crisis. Psychosocial is a description of the relation between an individual's emotional needs and the social environment around him or her. According to this theory, at critical ages, people experience developmental crises, specific conflicts whose resolutions prepares the way for the next stage. Stage 1, infancy to 1 year. Issue, trust versus mistrust. If needs are dependably met, infants develop a sense of basic trust. Stage 2, toddlerhood, 1 to 2 years. Issue, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Toddlers learn to exercise will and do things for themselves, or they doubt their abilities. Stage 3, preschooler, 3 to 5 years. Issue, initiative versus guilt. Preschoolers learn to initiate tasks and carry out plans, or they feel guilty about efforts to be independent. Stage 4, elementary school, 6 years to puberty. Issue, competence versus inferiority. Children learn the pleasure of applying themselves to tasks, or they feel inferior. Stage 5, adolescence, teen years into 20s. Issue, identity versus role confusion. Teenagers work at refining a sense of self by testing roles and then integrating them to form a single identity, or they become confused about who they are. Stage 6, young adulthood, 20s to early 40s. Issue, intimacy versus isolation. Young adults struggle to form close relationships and to gain the capacity for intimate love, or they feel socially isolated. Stage 7, middle adulthood, 40s to 60s. Issue, generativity versus stagnation. The middle-aged discover a sense of contributing to the world, usually through family and work, or they feel a lack of purpose. Stage 8, late adulthood, late 60s and up. Issue, integrity versus despair. When reflecting on his or her life, the older adult may feel a sense of satisfaction or failure. Applications for teachers. Teachers who apply psychosocial development in the classroom create an environment where each child feels appreciated and is comfortable with learning new things and building relationships with peers without fear. Teaching Erikson's theory at the different grade levels is important to ensure that students will attain mastery of each stage in Erikson's theory without conflict. There are specific classroom activities that teachers can incorporate into their classrooms during the 3 stages that include school-age children. At the preschool level, teachers want to focus on developing a hearty personality. Find out what students are interested in and create projects that incorporate their area of learning. Let the children be in charge of the learning process when participating in classroom projects. Make sure to point out and praise students for good choices. Offer continuous feedback on work that has been completed. Do not criticize or ridicule students openly. Find a private place to talk with a child about a poor choice or behavior. When children experiment, they should not be punished for trying something that may turn out differently than the teacher planned. Utilize physical activity to teach fairness and sportsmanship. Teachers should focus on achievement and peer relationships at the elementary level. Create a list of classroom duties. Discuss and post classroom rules. Make sure to include students in the decision-making process when discussing rules. Let students know that striving for perfection is not as important as learning from mistakes. Encourage children to help students who may be having trouble socially and/or academically. Never allow any child to make fun of or bully another child. Build confidence by recognizing success in what children do best. During the middle and high school years, building identity and self-esteem should be part of a teacher's focus. Treat all students equally. Do not show favoritism to a certain group of students based on gender, race, academic ability, or socioeconomic status. Incorporate guest speakers and curriculum from as many areas as possible so as to expose students to many career choices. Encourage students to develop confidence by trying different approaches to solving problems. Incorporate life skills into lesson planning to encourage confidence and self-sufficiency.
Though Erik Erikson did much to move ahead the thinking in the area of psychosocial development, there are several critiques on his theories. Most of his ideas came from his personal notes and experiences with clients, and they are difficult to test. His theories are limited to the time and culture in which he lived and practiced, and therefore may not translate well to other times and cultures. His theories largely came from his work with males and may not have the same implications with females. Lastly, he gives very few details about how to successfully resolve conflicts and move from one stage to the next throughout his 8 stages. 3 ways that Erik Erikson's theories have contributed to learning are: first, Erik Erikson took the things he learned from the Freuds and shifted the focus from a child going through the stages of sexual development to a child going through stages of identity to adulthood and beyond. He helped us understand that identity formation is important in becoming a productive, happy adult. Erikson also taught that personality is shaped over one's whole lifetime. Experiences later in life can lead to healing of problems that may have occurred in early childhood. Third, he helped us focus attention on the innate need to feel loved, connected to, and respected by other people. Erikson said, "Life doesn't make any sense without interdependence. We need each other, and the sooner we learn that, the better for us all."